Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a topic that's often misunderstood, misrepresented, and surrounded by layers of stigma and fear: schizophrenia. Now you might think you know what schizophrenia is. Maybe you've seen it in movies or on the news. But most of what's out there is misleading at best and damaging at worst. So in this video, we're going to break down the biggest myths about schizophrenia, explain the real science, and talk about what it's like to actually live with this condition. By the end of this, you'll walk away not only better informed, but more compassionate too. Let's get started. Schizophrenia means split personality. This is probably the most persistent myth out there. So many people believe that schizophrenia means you have multiple personalities, like there's more than one person inside your head. You've probably seen it in movies where a character suddenly switches between two different identities. But here's the truth. That's not schizophrenia. That's a completely different disorder called dissociative identity disorder, DID. Schizophrenia is not about split personalities. It's about a distorted perception of reality. People with schizophrenia might hear voices, believe in things that aren't true, like delusions, or have disorganized thinking that makes conversations difficult to follow. So the term schizophrenia literally means split mind. But that refers to a split from reality, not from the self. Confusing the two only adds to the stigma and misunderstanding people face every day. People with schizophrenia are dangerous or violent. This one is not just wrong, it's dangerous. Thanks to years of sensationalized headlines, crime shows, and horror films, many people assume that someone with schizophrenia is violent, unpredictable, or even criminal. But let's look at the facts. Studies consistently show that people with schizophrenia are far more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators. They are vulnerable, not violent. In fact, the risk of violence from someone with schizophrenia is only slightly higher than the general population. And that risk is usually linked to untreated symptoms or substance abuse, not the diagnosis itself. Stigmatizing people with schizophrenia as violent isolates them, creates fear, and discourages people from seeking help. The real danger isn't the person, it's the misinformation. What schizophrenia actually is. So what is schizophrenia then? Schizophrenia is a chronic and severe mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. It affects about 1 in 100 people globally. That's millions of individuals worldwide, from all backgrounds and walks of life. Core symptoms often include hallucinations, seeing, hearing, or feeling things that aren't there. Auditory hallucinations, like hearing voices, are the most common. Delusions, strong beliefs that aren't based in reality. For example, believing you're being watched or that you have special powers. Disorganized thinking. People might jump from topic to topic in conversation or give answers that don't logically connect. Negative symptoms. Things like emotional flatness, lack of motivation, withdrawal from social interaction, or inability to experience pleasure. These symptoms can deeply affect daily functioning, but that doesn't mean people with schizophrenia can't live full, meaningful lives. With the right treatment and support, they can. People with schizophrenia can't work or function. Normally, a lot of people assume that a schizophrenia diagnosis means someone will never be able to hold a job, have relationships, or live independently. That's simply not true. While schizophrenia is a serious condition, it doesn't automatically strip someone of the ability to live a productive life. With early diagnosis, ongoing treatment, and a strong support system, many people with schizophrenia go to school, build careers, fall in love, raise families, and contribute to their communities. Some people may experience long periods of stability with few or no symptoms. The biggest obstacle often isn't the illness, it's society's assumptions about the illness. Schizophrenia is caused by bad parenting. There was a time when people believed schizophrenia was caused by refrigerator mothers, cold, distant parenting that supposedly damaged a child's mind. That idea is outdated, unscientific, and wrong. Schizophrenia is not caused by bad parenting. It is a complex condition with multiple contributing factors. Genetics. Having a family member with schizophrenia increases risk, though it's not a guarantee. Brain structure. Research shows differences in brain volume and connectivity, neurotransmitter imbalances, especially involving dopamine and glutamate, environmental triggers, including high stress, trauma, and drug use during adolescence. So no, it's not your mom's fault, it's not your dad's fault, and it's not yours either. What causes schizophrenia? There's no single cause of schizophrenia. Instead, it's a multifactorial condition, meaning it arises from a combination of factors. Genetic vulnerability. If a parent or sibling has schizophrenia, your risk is higher. But most people with a genetic predisposition don't develop it unless other triggers are present. Chemical imbalances. The brain uses chemicals like dopamine to communicate. In schizophrenia, dopamine pathways may be overactive or dysfunctional. Brain abnormalities. Imaging studies show subtle differences in brain volume and activity, particularly in areas related to memory, emotion, and decision-making. Environmental factors. These can include birth complications, malnutrition before birth, exposure to viruses, childhood trauma, or heavy cannabis use during adolescence. Schizophrenia is nobody's fault. It's a medical condition, not a moral failing. People with schizophrenia can snap out of it. 10 to 11, 15. We've all heard it before. They just need to toughen up, or they're not trying hard enough. This myth is toxic. You wouldn't tell someone with diabetes to just snap out of it. You wouldn't tell someone with a broken leg to walk it off. Schizophrenia is not a choice, and it's not something you can will away. People living with schizophrenia often work incredibly hard to manage their symptoms, maintain relationships, and keep going in a world that doesn't understand them. Telling someone to try harder dismisses the very real medical challenges they face. How schizophrenia is treated. So how is schizophrenia treated? Treatment typically includes medication. Antipsychotic drugs help manage symptoms like hallucinations and delusions. Finding the right one can take time, and side effects can be tough, but they can make a huge difference. Therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, family therapy, and social skills training help people cope, communicate, and stay grounded. Community support, case managers, peer support, supported housing, and job programs are all critical for long-term success. Self-care and lifestyle, regular sleep, exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness all support mental wellness. And perhaps most importantly, hope. Recovery isn't always linear, but it is possible. Schizophrenia looks the same in everyone. Just like no two people are the same, no two experiences of schizophrenia are identical. Thanks for watching. Stay kind, stay curious, and take care of each other.